Hi everybody, Paul here from Hill Country Rings. It's a really chilly day here in the Hill Country. So today we're going to be making a titanium inlay ring using some really special wood from the deck of the Battleship Missouri. So let's go in the shop before I freeze out here. Well, this is original teak from the Battleship Missouri from BB-63, and this is from the U.S. Missouri Memorial Association. They make this wood available as they do retrofits or replacement of the wood, the original wood on the deck. Got this, it actually came all the way from Honolulu, Hawaii. And the Missouri, of course, is the ship where the surrender treaty from Japan was signed on the decks of this ship. So it's a pretty significant ship and a pretty significant piece of wood. So gonna make some rings. First thing we're gonna do is cut some little slices out of here and make some ring blanks, and then we'll put that under the resin to stabilize. So we got a number of ring blanks here. Some really nice wood. This wood is really pretty. So I think let's make some really nice rings. The little cutoffs I have, I can still make things out of this. I keep this. I don't throw this away. This can go make. I can make crosses out of this, or inlay into earrings or cufflinks. I mean, there's a lot of stuff I can do with these little pieces, so I keep those. Those aren't going to waste. So let's put this under the resin and get them stabilized. So I've got that Battleship Missouri teak. We'll put that in here. Make sure it's all goes under the resin. Push all it down. And also this is the walnut from the gun stock of that customer. The customer wanted me to make a custom ring for him, so that's going to go in here in this batch as well. And don't worry, I can tell the difference between walnut and teak, so it's not gonna get mixed up. So okay, I'll put that under there. Put some chain on it. Put a little bit more resin in there just to make sure that we got a good coverage, and then we'll put them in the vacuum chamber. We got that wood under the resin. We put on our tempered glass lid. We always use a tempered glass lid. We never use a acrylic lid. A vacuum chamber with an acrylic lid is basically a bomb. Don't use it. So let's go ahead and turn on the vacuum. Alright, the wood's been under the vacuum for a couple hours under the resin, and we're going to go ahead and release the vacuum. Release the vacuum, and then that'll let the air rush back in, not at the air into the vacuum chamber, and then that will push that resin into the wood because it's still under the resin. Alright, we just let it sit for a couple hours. I'm going to make sure that resin gets nice and infiltrated into that wood. Well, the wood has been sitting under the resin for several hours, so now we're going to go ahead and remove all the weights in the middle And we're gonna put it out on the cookie sheet. So I've got got that wood from the that gun stock. A couple pieces of that, and then the Battleship, Missouri wood. Just lay it out on the tin foil. Alright, we put the cookies in the oven. It's about 225 for about 90 minutes to set that resin. And like I've said, every time I use this, just tell you, never use one of these for any food once you've done something like this. So, just gotta let it sit, let it cook. Time to get the donuts. Alright. Okay. Alright, let's take them in. Well, here's that Battleship, Missouri, and then the wood from that guy's stock. His custom ring I'm making for that guy. So now I'm just gonna let these cool, and then we'll start making a ring out of them. Well, we got the wood all nice and cut and stabilized, and got a ring core picked out, and now I'm going to go ahead and start working on the inlay. So what I'm going to do is put this guy on the lathe, and we'll smooth him off. We'll finish, face him off. Then we'll bore him out with a drill bit, like a Forstner bit. Then we'll open up that hole to get him to fit that channel. And then we'll face him down to fit the channel this way. So we have to fit this way, and then we have to fit him this way. So let's go ahead and start working on that. I'm going to go ahead and chuck this up in the 4-jaw chuck. Let's go ahead and just cut this guy flat, so we make sure we're not going to hit the chuck. And then we go ahead and cut him. This ring channel is 23.80 millimeters. So we went chucked up a 24 millimeter Forstner bit, and that gives us a little bit of room for that glue, for that epoxy. So let's go ahead and bore this guy out. Well, we measured that channel for that ring at 3.9 millimeters. So what we're going to do is I have taken my boring bar, and I took this piece of aluminum here that's I used to as a standoff to keep this wood from hitting the chuck, the back of the chuck. So what I'm going to do is take my boring bar and get right up till I touch it. Just to touch that metal. Okay, that's my 0 point. And then I set my DRO at 0. I back it out to 3.9 millimeters. Just like that. Okay. What I'm doing is backing out that boring bar. So I'll give myself 3.9 millimeters of wood left. And then I'm just going to cut in this way. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay. Don't do too far. Don't want to go too far. Let's go ahead and keep going now. Well, that's doing it. Okay, so I think that's about as close as we can get. Alrighty. Back him out. I still got my caliper set at that 3.9, so this little tail sticks out 3.9. So when I set it here, there it is, it's level. So, let me see if you can see that. There it is. That little tail is flush with this wood here, so that means this part of the wood here is 3.9 millimeters. So that's exactly what I wanted. So let's take him to the bandsaw and do a relief cuts and break him and get him fitted. Let's go ahead and break that guy right there. Oh, perfect break. And let's see what we have. That is quite impressive. This new lathe is working out really good. That inlay is fitting perfectly. I don't think I need any sanding on it. So let's get him glued up. Now this lathe does cut differently because it goes in and comes this way, goes in and goes this way. It almost makes this like this channel. I got to make sure that I cut enough to fit that ring, the outside of the ring. So it's kind of a different cut, but it works out pretty good. Let's go ahead and wash these guys out with a little denatured alcohol. Do the wood first. And I've already made little scratches to make that epoxy bond better. It's a good epoxy, but it doesn't hurt. Have a little bit something for it to bite onto. Go ahead and clean up the wood first so that can dry. Then we clean up the core. And see, I've already scratched up the core, so he's got that little something for the epoxy to grip onto. And we just clean him up. Let me do another run of clean. It's just stuff. There's machining oil and stuff on these that it's kind of hard to see. It's best to get this thing just as clean as I can get it. There we go. Alright, now just a little bit of epoxy. And a little bit bit of the hardener. And then we just mix it in. With our jeweler's tool here. Get it good mixed up. Kind of spin the toothpick to kind of help mix it. Alright. Okay, let's put some on the wood in that channel. There we go. Where the connection is. And put it on this channel. Alright, and some of the channel of the ring, because we want to make sure that we have a good wet-to-wet bond. And I know I talk about that a lot, but it's just, you don't want a dry bond. You don't want any air bubbles, or where the epoxy doesn't get to adhere good. You want it to adhere good to both pieces of the work. So you always want to make sure you get a good wet-to-wet bond. Alright. It's almost squared out. That's okay. I can always clean it up. I'd rather clean up the epoxy than have something fail later. Alrighty, now we just put them together. Put that on there. Boop. It makes that sound too. It's kind of hard to hear sometimes. Boop. Hear it. Then give them a little spin. Give the ring core a little spin in that wood, just so that kind of gets any spots that might be not level or not having a even coat. And then we put on our clamp here and clamp them down real good. And now we just wait. It's got to cure overnight. Then we'll come back and we'll cut away that wood, and then we'll put them on the lathe and turn them down and finish and polish them up. It is the next day, and that two-part epoxy has cured. So we're going to go ahead and cut some of the excess wood with the bandsaw. I'm going to put them on the lathe and turn that wood down so it's just under flush with the metal. And so we can put some finish on it. We'll put finish on it, then we'll polish it up and get it nice and pretty. So let's start that process. All right, we're gonna hit it up with a little bit of 400 grit sandpaper, just a really light. Then we're gonna go with the Dr. Kirk's, the scratch free, and then the 1, 2, 3. So let's go ahead and do that. Well, here is that Battleship Missouri teak and the ring that I made from it. It's inlay on titanium and came out beautiful. And this is for me. I made this one for me. If you would like a ring made from Battleship wood, from a Major League Baseball bat, from the stock of an M1 Garand, custom woods, something maybe you had that you want to make into a ring, please check out hillcountryrings.com. Or my videos, and I'd love to make a ring for you. Thanks everybody. And it is freezing out here.